Scentland, the land of scent. Hello, a wonderful Sunday afternoon to all of you. It's Chris back with yet another fragrance review, and today I have the tremendous pleasure to guide you through my favorite five plus one fragrances from the traditional great quality Parisian house of Edmond Ted Lapidus. Okay, Ted Lapidus, who has been very active and influential in fashion throughout the decades, as well as in the fragrance market. Okay, he has produced throughout all these years many great fragrances that represent great quality versus price ratio. I'm gonna tell you why that is. So let's start the list. I have collected 5+1 fragrances that are my favorite ever male releases of Ted Lapidus, including one female release actually. Now this is why I said it's 5+1, because at spot number 5 we have Black Soul for man and White Soul for woman. And if you choose to market your fragrance with a color black and white, it's a very brave but very risky attempt as well, because you really have to live up to the reputation of these very strong colors and the message they want to send or they bring across, or people associate with black and white. And this is very well done here. The men's version, Black Soul, that's the one, right? Black Soul, this is a 30 ml. It's a fresh, spicy, aromatic fragrance that has a lot of the horse stable vibe, a lot of animalic features that I tremendously love. And it's very much something that you haven't really smelled out there before. There's a lot of fragrances that have this animalic touch, but here it's very much wrapped around a oriental aromatic scenario, where the oriental facets of the fragrance mix up with this animalic horse stable kind of vibe. And here with White Soul for woman, this is a very nice floral fragrance, very much reminding me actually of, it's a bit powdery floral, very much reminding me of Lira, the original Lira by Alain Delon. So Black Soul and White Soul, Ted Lapidus, spot number 5, absolutely brilliant fragrances. If you, especially in regards to this one, if you like animalic, dark, heavy oriental fragrances, Black Soul, or if you like, playful, classy, floral, powdery fragrances, White Soul, perfect. And the price versus quality ratio is tremendous here, in the performance as well. But I'm going to come to overall performance anyway, and we keep it black. We keep it black because Ted Lapidus, a few years back, I think in 2012, has released this fragrance, Ted Lapidus Pour Homme Black Extreme. Okay, this is obviously a flanker of the original. Black Extreme is another heavy hitter. It is warm, spicy, a bit animalic as well, sweet though. It's more customer friendly probably, but it's an atomic bomb, this one as well. It lasts forever, and it's dark, and it's really extreme in its appearance and performance. This is an attention grabbing fragrance. This really pushes its wearer in the foreground, and really very much it is mysterious, dark, and it has some animalic notes there, but it's sweet as well at the same time. Again, something that you're not smelling on every second corner. Okay, this is for a night out. It's perfect. Dress up fragrance, definitely. Okay, Ted Lapidus Pour Homme Black Extreme on spot number 3. Spot number 4 that was, sorry. Spot number 3 comes now, and it goes to Ted Lapidus Pour Lui. Pour Lui is a fragrance based all around vanilla. Okay, so it's sweet, but sweet in a way that is delicate, and it's French, and it's easygoing. So if you go easy on the trigger, which you should with all Ted Lapidus fragrances, if you go easy on the trigger, this smells like a nice Easter afternoon garden party with the family. Okay, this is how it smells in my opinion. It is absolutely mind-blowingly good because it has a nice lavender backbone. Okay, smells somehow very English to me. I don't know why, even though it's French. Somehow I get the picture of well-dressed English people in probably 100 years back, because vanilla was always, very vanilla and lavender together, especially a very classy approach to a male fragrance. Okay, so these two are. And vanilla is never too sweet. It's delicate. It's nice. It's not pushy. It's a strong fragrance again. It's very much strong. So 2 sprays, well enough. Okay. Ted Lapidus pour lui is a special occasion, outdoor scent that will linger for the entire day. A garden party scent in my tremendously feel-good fragrance. Ted Lapidus pour lui. I should have shown it this way because that's the way it's being presented. A great vanilla lavender fragrance for special festive days all around, probably springtime. Okay, now spot number 2. Spot number 2 is one of the bravest releases of the past decade, done by Ted Lapidus, or presented by Ted Lapidus. I should put this here so you can see a little bit of the bottle, and I should move away. There you go, this way you see it a bit better. Ted Lapidus pour Homme Sport, and when I first saw this, I thought, well, okay, now they're messing up the good old Ted Lapidus pour Homme, the classy one, the masterpiece, with something that is aquatic and citrusy. No, and this is one of the bravest fragrances released in the 2010s, and I tell you why. Because this has nothing to do with the usual aquatic, citrusy sports fragrances. Okay, this is a classy smelling floral bomb, okay, very much in the veins of Nino Cerruti, the 1979, Nino Cerruti, or Givenchy Insensé. It's a bit more soapy than that. It's more soapy, like the Nino Cerruti 1979 one. But already me mentioning 1979 for a fragrance that has been released in 2015, that tells you something, okay? An extremely classy, nice, very, very strong fragrance again. Very floral, soapy, clean, bright, uplifting. To me, it's not as refined as Insensio or Nino Cerruti smell. It's much more. I don't like to use the word synthetic. I would rather say it smells much more artificial. So again, go only to 2 sprays and let it linger. It's an outside fragrance again, okay? Actually, all of these, in my opinion, are outside, first, because they quickly fill a room, and they can be overpowering if the wearer sprays on too much. But outside, these are just gorgeous. They need the fresh air, especially cooler air. So with this sport fragrance, I would say that Ted Lapidus pour Homme Sport is rather something for the outside in the springtime, summer evenings, or autumn, but more springtime and probably summer evenings. Okay, it's not the daytime heat. It's not something that you could really wear for sports. I would say you would look awkward if you walk in wearing this into a gym. Okay, I don't see that scenario, because it smells much more floral than that. You got to really carry this one well dressed, I think, and it's very strong as well. And it's not your typical refreshing out of the shower type of fragrance. Okay, it's very floral. And in order for a guy to wear a tough floral fragrance, you gotta have the balls to carry that across. Okay, to bring that across to your environment. Okay, so extremely brave, because it's nothing like anybody releases today. It really looks back onto the 70s. This fragrance very much, and it's floral, great floral backbone. Ted Lapidus pour Homme Sport. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's no comment really needed. Ted Lapidus pour Homme, released in 1987, is a fantastic, classy, spicy fragrance based around many ingredients, many notes. You can read it up in Fragrantica. What I get and what I love, there is some fantastic honey notes, and there are honey note that is not overdone but very much present, but it's being lifted by florals, being lifted by by mosses, it's being lifted by woods, it's being lifted by fresh spices, and this fragrance really I love. I'm totally in love with the city of Paris. Okay, Paris, and I really have been there so many times, and every time I loved it to bits. So what I can say after all these years having visited Paris, that this Ted Lapidus Pour Homme is a fragrance that smells 100% of Paris, 100% like Paris. Okay, even the modern Paris, the old Paris, whatever you want, because it has so many facets, so many faces, so many different scenarios, so colorful as Paris it is itself. The cafes, the nice restaurants, and the opera, and the theaters, and the music, and the light entertainment as well, and the fashion, the perfumes, and the Seine, and the Notre Dame, and everything. It seems somehow to be bottled here in Ted Lapidus Pour Homme. Okay, it has a incredible style. It smells obviously very much like the time it has been coming out. It's an 80s type of smell, if you want to call it that. But I think it's eternal. It's eternal. It's an eternal masterpiece. It stood its test of time. And what I want to say in regards to all of these Ted Lapidus fragrances, really, and you really have to highlight that, ladies and gentlemen, and I mentioned this at the beginning, is that they have an almost unmatched quality versus price ratio. They perform tremendously, all of them. There's no question with sillage and projection. They are very much noticeable, so you have to be intelligently applying these 2 or 3 sprays maximum with any of these, and you'll be fine for the entire day. Okay, so this is how you should wear Ted Lapidus, any of these fragrances from Ted Lapidus, including White Soul. And to me, they're more outdoors, because they need the fresh air in order for them to lose their heaviness and sometimes artificial kind of composition or blend, in order to, because the air that lets this fragrance breathe off your skin really much helps this smell more natural. Okay, but absolutely tremendous fragrances, and in the middle of it is Ted Lapidus Pour Homme, the absolute masterpiece from 1987. So thanks very much. This was Chris with my favorite 5 fragrances, 5+1 from Ted Lapidus. Merci beaucoup, je vous en prie.